What about those of you that have deeper pockets? You got about 100 grand to spend? If you do, let me show you something that might definitely pique your interest. Tyler, tell us about this room 463.
463, welcome. Here we're showing a very special speaker. It is the brand new Borresen T1. You've seen glimpses of the T series, Jay, at Munich, the big
Yes.
boy. It was, early prototype. This speaker is now in production. This is the T1. Why it's super special for me is, if you remember, we launched Borresen project in 2017 or 18, the Rocky Mountain Audio Fest, and we started with the 01. This is now the successor.
Finally, officially,
Yeah.
the O series is out the door,
Yeah.
and we got the new kid on the block with a new finish.
New finish. So 8 years later, we've replaced the O series, and still that same beautiful walnut veneer, but now we do it in a high gloss lacquer.
Beautiful, so pretty. You can see the beautiful glossy finish now. That was never offered, by the way, by the brand. So this is a first attempt at creating something a lot more polished,
Yeah.
and it definitely shows.
Yeah, agreed. Carbon fiber inlays too on this cabinet. Now the speaker, for those who don't want something that's visually stunning or perhaps distracting to some, you can do it in piano black. You're still going to have the carbon fiber accents or piano gloss white. Again, carbon fiber will still exist. Dedicated stand, brand new drive unit. This drive unit is a lot of the trickle down from the M series, which you got.
Oh,
to
really?
know. Yeah.
So if we were to, I guess, make an assumption, this speaker is the closest you can get to the M.
That's exactly right.
That's a good statement,
Yeah.
right? So now you know if you can't afford the M, you need to be looking at these.
Yeah.
This is the closest that you can get, as close as you can get to the M series. And one cool thing before we forget, which I talked to Peter about, we have the noise suppression technology here.
Yes.
Never before offered technology in the O series, it was only on the 05.
That's right.
So
That's
I'm
right.
glad to see that finally on the entry level T, we have noise suppression technology. Take a look behind
Yeah.
the speaker so you can talk to
Yeah,
audience as far as
let's
what
show
that is, right here.
So there's a third terminal
Right
on
there.
that. Yeah, exactly. It's a BNC connector. We'll let the camera get in there.
Right here, guys. This right here.
So that's really important. When we launched the 05, the previous line, the 05 had that third terminal, if you will, and we connect that to the ANSYS power box units back in the rack. And so what the power box does is sends a very important specific signal. It's 14 volts DC, but it's not a constant 14 volt DC.
Okay.
It's actually a dithered signal from the power box. And so we're using the power box to feed noise suppression into the speaker's technology, which contains more noise suppression. So we've done it in the M series, as you know, but now to have it in the T is pretty exciting.
It's actually very nice. All of the M have that, right? All the M series?
All the M do.
Okay.
Yeah, we knew with its impact that it has on the T5s, or on the O5s rather, the previous model, we knew that all the M's had to have it. And once all the M's had it, we're like, okay, when we launch the new O replacements, we got to bring some of that technology. Now, of course, the M does have higher level noise suppression inside, but it is trickle down.
What is the difference between that noise suppression and, let's say, grounding a speaker? Is it more or less the same, or is it different?
No,
than
completely
grounding?
different.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
we're not doing any of that. We
Okay.
we believe in the mechanical decoupling the speaker, right, and controlling resonance, but electrically we're not doing grounding in that regard. Yeah.
So the rest of the system?
Yeah, let's talk about it. So here you step into the AVIC all-in-one units, right? So next door you heard the Access.
Really well
Yeah.
built, by the way, guys. Extremely sturdy, thick aluminum.
Yeah, so interesting, you see the copper line chassis
Yep.
highlighted there. This is actually a stainless steel plate. Is that right?
That's right. With titanium finish.
With titanium finish, because Michael loves his coatings. The only, and that's all for mechanical resonance, right? You hear everything. The only aluminum he uses in this chassis is actually these two cheek plates, which are completely isolated by copper. So these are the cooling points where he says, okay, I have to use some aluminum. But Michael, as you guys know, Fleming, as you guys know, they hate aluminum.
Right.
So even the boxes you heard over there, no aluminum.
Right.
This is cool because this is 300 watts by 2 into 8 ohms, and 600 watts by 2 into 4 ohms.
Very robust. What does it weigh, more or less?
I think it's about 40 pounds.
40 pounds, so it's not extremely heavy. And by the way, if you're concerned with heat, there is no heat here.
No.
Absolutely nothing, all right? Cool to the touch.
And just like the previous models, I mean, you literally hook up a network cable, and it's everything. So it's your streamer, it's your DAC, it's your power amp, it's your preamp, it's your input selection.
Beautiful.
So you can do high-end and all-in-one box, and this is our version of that. So.
Then the bottom pieces are these that's the power conditioning, or?
Yeah. So great question. So power box you'll see here. This is an opportunity to run the T-Series speakers.
Oh, got it. So they have their own separate
So if you
station.
have exactly that M series and now the T series can take a power box.
Nice.
Where that's got the active noise suppression feeding the speakers.
Got it.
This is our power switch, our network switch,
right,
which you're used to seeing those, and this is our power distribution bar. So in this system, we did the cables basically one level up from what you heard next door. So I know sometimes ANSYS can get very exotic in performance and price point. This is a very kind of modest, we call it the A3 loom. So there's many levels above it. So kind of nothing crazy cable-wise. The power boxes, this is the only D series because the power boxes start at a D level. There's because you typically don't use them with the less expensive speakers.
So 100 grand gets you essentially, again, a turnkey system, all-in-one box solution. Yeah. And we're about to find out about the performance because I know it's 6 figures, and for some of you, it's like uncharted territory. And I understand that, I get that, but my job is to give you different price points, different propositions, and obviously articulate as we go along the way as far as what you gain in terms of performance, okay? So we're gonna do that just now. The focus is immediately better. Immediately better. There's so much more focus here. Great song. Much better stereo imaging. Much better. Very relaxed sounding. Yet all the nuance, all the detail is there. The bass is, I feel like the articulation is definitely another level, because it doesn't seem to overload the room at all, yet I'm getting very nice balanced bass. Now I want to make sure you understand one thing. I'm essentially assessing a system, not just loudspeakers, and that's what we have to keep in mind. It's everything here that's adding to the performance, not just the speakers, but everything else behind the speakers as well. There's no denying the fact that the instrumentation is just better separated in space. The height of the soundstage is just better. Yep. Well, so what do you get for 100 grand? Well, first of all, the height of the soundstage is higher, right? So you don't really understand the limitations of a more affordable system until you are in front of something better. That's the only way you're gonna know. So I know many of you out there believe that your system is absolutely stunning for the price, and I'm not necessarily disagreeing. But until you hear something better, you're not gonna know the shortcomings of your system, period. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm listening to these speakers, the soundstage, the height is much higher. Like I heard a lot more here. The biggest thing that I remember right now with this short listening session is the layering, the separation of the instruments is just better. There's better placement on the stage, right? The other ones do a great job at creating images, but they're, I don't want to say diffused in comparison, but this system exactly does the opposite, which is to have a lot more of a focus lens on the instruments. Does that make sense? That's what this system is doing to me. But remember, I keep saying it, it's the system, not just the speakers here. It's everything. There's no way you're gonna know, if you grab the speaker, let's say, and you throw it in the other systems, it's gonna sound better, but it's not gonna do what it's doing here. This matters, that matters, the cables matter, it's the whole thing. So if you have a chance to come and listen to this all-in-one system for $100,000, come to this room, because I'm telling you, like, you are able to hear, these guys here are able to show you 3 different setups, and you can literally walk the way I have just walked through 3 different rooms, and you can be a witness of what I'm witnessing, how everything gets better as you move up in budget.
Yeah, we wanted to make it so the enthusiast can decide where's their sweet spot. Maybe it's budget constrained, maybe it's value constrained, maybe it's I don't care. I want the best you can do for my smallish room.
Right.
You know, and so we're here to help any way we can and show you the differences.
And by the way, it doesn't mean that maybe you have the $100,000 to spend on this system, right? But maybe you like the one that's 25. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, yeah.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with liking the one that's 25 or maybe the one that's 15. It's fine. But you can certainly understand how things change and get better as you move up the ladder. And no one else is doing that here. No one else is doing what these guys are doing, which is to walk you through different levels along the way. And the rooms are next to each other.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing about it. So you have very little downtime between rooms. Yeah, it's quick, one after the other. You can literally experience the improvement of performance.
Yeah, that's really important for us. I think that's in our DNA. Like, people
Yes.
often ask us, hey, does this cable make a difference? And like, sure, we can talk about it, but we prefer to just demonstrate it. And then you can decide, is it worth it to you?
Yeah.
And you know, for me, I get more resolution, but I also get more of a relaxed presentation, which it just flows.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. There's a lot more floor. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to see the last system,
oh boy,
which is the big boy where I like to be.
Yep. But
again, this is killer. But now walk with me and let's check out the last cost no object room that Next Level Hi-Fi is showing here at the Florida International Audio Show.
It's going to be fun. Let's go.
Thank you.
Let's go. Thank you.